Welcome to BaseballGuys.com. I'm Ray Flowers. Today's Around the Horn. We're going to start off with the biggest news of the day, and it's nothing having to do with anything on the field, but off the field, it looks like the Rays and Carl Crawford have come to a decision about his contract moving forward. He'll be a free agent at the end of the season. They picked up a $10 million option for this season only. They've decided to hold off on negotiations until the season's completed. That means one of two things. Either A, the Rays are going to pay him a whole lot of money at the end of the year to sign him to a long-term deal, or B, someone else is. I would have to think someone else is. I think this will be the last season there in Florida for Crawford. There's a lot of reports coming out of Florida that the Rays are really going to go for it this year. They're going to jack their payroll up, give it a shot, but next year they're really going to have to scale back on things. It'll probably start with Crawford. They've got Desmond Jennings in the minor leagues, who's a Crawford clone, if you believe the scouts. Got a luminous future, a great base stealer, a lot of physical talents all over the field. He could theoretically step into Crawford's place and eventually match that level of production, though that's asking an awful lot for a youngster to do. Look for the big market teams to go really hard after Crawford during the season and especially after the season. I think the Rays hold on to him for the entire year, but it wouldn't be shocking to see them move him because of the fact he will be a free agent at the end of the season. Over in Pittsburgh, they have a new bullpen. They had Joel Hanrahan to pitch the 8th inning, and they brought in Octavio Dotel to be the 9th inning closer. A little bit of concern with both guys. Dotel's got a little bit of a side issue. It's not believed to be a major thing. He's kind of shut himself down the last couple days. Look for him to return to the hill next week, and if everything goes as planned, and this is just a minor bump like it's expected to be, he should be fine and plenty of time to start the year as the closer. Hanrahan, there was some concern about his elbow. He missed some time. He had some soreness at the end of last season. It returned this year. He went to see Dr. James Andrews. Good news is not only does he not need surgery, Hanrahan also should be able to throw by next week. So this is a situation where if he doesn't suffer any other setbacks, he might be able to go in the 8th inning with Dotel in the 9th. That might actually give the Pirates a good closing duo at the end of games, even though it might look a little spotty on the surface. Adam Dunn, he can hit 38 or more home runs pretty much every year. Problem is, he fields, to be kind, very poorly. He's moving to first base this year. The Nationals would like to go with an outfield of Josh Willingham, Niger Morgan, and Elijah Dukes. If those three guys perform as expected, that'll shift Dunn to first base. Again, Dunn's a poor outfielder. He's a poor first baseman, but at least he's working on that now. Mr. Dunn, if you're watching, give me a call. Send me an email at baseballguys.com. I'd be happy to help you out. First base is my position. Not only could I help you, Mr. Dunn, I'm pretty sure I can help about 2/3 of you gentlemen that play first base in Major League Baseball. See mistakes with it all the time. You don't just throw a guy over there and play first base. There is an art to it. At least in Dunn's case, he's working on it, and that's good news, and we'll see how it works out. Alfonso Serrano with the Cubs, talked about him a couple days ago. He had some knee surgery. He's not fully behind the knee at this point. Mentally, he's still not sure he's capable of doing the things he's done in the past because of some lingering issues with that knee. He's been doing some work early in camp here and is reporting very positive things. He said he's not really ready to turn himself loose. He's not ready to go full out yet, but his knee feels good. It feels better than he thought it would feel, and that's very positive news. Again, don't look for Soriano to return to that 20, 30, 40 steal level. I'd be surprised if he even stole 15 bases this year, to be honest with you. But I still think he has 30 home run potential in that bat of his. As long as he can stay healthy and stay on the field, Soriano can still be a very valuable hitter, though the days of going 30-30 are obviously long past. Brad Lidge, another injured star. He had surgery on his elbow, surgery on his knee this offseason. A lot of questions about whether or not he'd be ready in April. Then, the kind of early prognosis is he'll miss the first couple weeks. Well, Lidge threw today. It was only fastballs, but it was a very good sign he threw off the mound. He'll, on Friday, try to throw some sliders. If that goes well, he'll continue to try to progress further and obviously see if he can actually make the Phillies opening day roster. Whether or not that happens remains to be seen. I wouldn't be counting on it. I think Ryan Matson's still an excellent add in fantasy leagues. Not only does he have a great shot to vulture some saves at the start of the year, he was better than Lidge last year. He's one of the best setup men in all of baseball. He's got a tremendous skill set that continues to grow. Don't forget about Ryan Matson on draft day in fantasy leagues, but don't forget about Brad Lidge either. It sounds like he might be healthier earlier than we thought, and if he was indeed tipping his pitches last year, if it wasn't just a problem with his stuff and location, if he was tipping his pitches and that's why he had some of the struggles he had, and that problem's been solved, he might actually end up being a nice bargain on draft day as well. Francisco Liriano, another pitcher coming back off arm issues. His was a couple years ago. He had surgery. Really struggled last year. Didn't have the velocity, didn't have the location, the bite on his pitches, walked a ton of batters. This year, things are much, much improved for Liriano, and there's a lot of excitement. He threw in the Dominican Winter League, was throwing 94, 95 miles an hour. He's come into camp very positive in his outlook, says he feels better. Not only is he throwing harder, there's more snap on that trademark slider of his. He'll probably never return to his 2006 levels, but Liriano could end up being a great pitcher this year for the Twins. He could end up being a great fantasy bargain because of his draft day ADP being so low at the moment. Keep an eye on reports. Don't go bonkers and think he's going to vie for the Cy Young, but he could end up being a very valuable weapon for the Twins in 2010. And finally, Jose Bautista, decent ball player, always a help, a boon to his team. Hits about 15 home runs in part-time duty, doesn't kill in the batting average category. With the changes that have been made in Toronto, it appears that he will unfortunately be the leadoff hitter for the Blue Jays this season. Why do I say unfortunately? Well, he owns a .329 career on-base percentage. And in that time, the Major League average in on-base percentage, .340. So he doesn't even have a league average on-base percentage, which obviously says that he's miscast. Unfortunately, the Jays don't have a lot of other options. So look for Bautista, who's slated to play right field, to probably open up the season as the leadoff hitter. Not a good thing for the team, but a good thing for his value. He'll get those extra at-bats and those opportunities to score runs. Again, I'm Ray Flowers, BaseballGuys.com. Thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you all again soon.